Hey cats, it's EDDBUD here. The M stands for midsole. It's that time of year to recap and review. I have a series of best of running shoes for various categories coming at you. Today, the best plus 40mm max cushion shoes of 2025. This category seems to be incredibly popular right now. Every single running brand has got some type of sort of max plus 40mm shoe intended for sort of like easy running, maybe those very slow long runs, or something even for recovery. Loads of shoes appearing in today's video. The PRIMEX 3 STRUNG from ADIDAS, the ASICS NIMBUS 28 just creeps in this one to the category at 41.5mm. The NOVABLAST 5, the huge HYPERION Max 3, the bonkers Nike VOMERO Premium, the ASICS SONICBLAST from Brooks, the GLYCERIN Max 2, the Nike VOMERO Plus, and last but by no means least, the MEGABLAST from ASICS. With so many options for this top 5, I'm going to have to sift out the best from the also-rans. So in a sec I'll give you my top 5, but first, my reasoning for not including some of the others. Before I get to that though, please don't get sad or upset if your favourite max cushion shoe isn't in my top 5. There's so many options out there. Sometimes a particular shoe will hit the spot for one runner and not another, and that's okay. First up, the ASICS SONICBLAST, a very stacked shoe, yes, but I found it to be quite rigid really, and it appears to use an apparently denser version of the Flight Foam Turbo Squared. That combination just didn't really work for me as somebody that, as they run faster, lands on the midfoot. Just felt a little bit not all that fun to run in, I suppose. So not perhaps the best for me for this category. Another one that perplexed me a little bit was the Brooks GLYCERIN Max 2. This one just got quite a bit heavier and didn't seem to be quite as soft as the previous version, of which I really enjoyed. Super stacked in the heel with 45mm here, but a denser cushion, and as a lighter fellow I just found I was merely impacting on the surface of it. Could be great for those heavier built folks out there though. The NOVABLAST 5 just about makes it into this category at 41.5mm for the sample size, but to be honest with you, the softness of this shoe and the whole kind of setup and specs really make it a daily shoe. I don't think we can really compare it against some of these others. More a do-it-all option than a max cushion cruiser. So I don't think it's a bad shoe. I mean, I think it will probably appear in one of my other top 5 soon, but I don't feel it's one of the best max cushioned models out there. Last shoe that didn't quite make it into the top 5 is the HYPERION Max 3 from Brooks. I found this one had a little bit too much heft for me to make it like a faster paced tempo shoe. The V1 and V2 were very much that. I really enjoyed those. The midsole was responsive here for sure, but the bottom heavy nature of the shoe just didn't really fit with my running style. It just felt the bounce wasn't quite there here. It was quite a controlling shoe. It wants you to run in a very particular way, and that type of shoe was never really hit the spot for me, so it's just outside of my top 5, the Brooks HYPERION Max 3. Okay, to the top 5, no spoiling it for people in the comments by putting in any bookmarks or anything like that. Don't put any markers in with the timings. I'll put some mystery ones in so people can skip along to each number. At 5, it's a shoe that I have a love-hate relationship with. The VOMERO Premium. There's certain things I like about this shoe and certain things that I really don't like. Some of the things I don't like, it's just so heavy and it feels quite clunky, and thus I just don't really want to use this one for long distance running. Just feels like it's sapping my energy perhaps rather than giving it back. Over shorter distances at easy paces, yes, it certainly is quite forgiving, but I don't think I'd want to run much more than about 4 miles in this one, being quite a light sort of slight fellow. I just seem to spend too much time wondering if I'm going to like turn my ankle, perhaps if I step on some like broken pavement or something. And I've got to be honest, I just was so disappointed in the significant heft of the shoe. They could have got rid of like some of the upper padding here and just minimized it, made it a little bit more subtle I suppose, rather than super plush. So good for short, easier runs if you've got some stable terrain for it. At number 5, the VOMERO Premium. At 4, it's so much lighter this year. The Nimbus 28 chopped off loads of weight here to make the Nimbus a more nimble model. It's just a bit more exciting, more of a versatile shoe now. In hand and on foot, they really did chop off a load of weight, and that's very, very welcome. But it's still very stacked here in the heel and the forefoot. Lots of cushion there. If you want it, it's on tap. Better outsole grip and a more refined upper. There's not so much of a generous feel about it. Doesn't feel like I had loads of extra upper materials. I wasn't having to cinch the laces in so much. Does feel a little bit softer, the Flight Foam Blast Plus this time out. Maybe they've tinkered with the formula a little bit, but it easily warrants a place in the top 5 of the plus 40mm max cushion shoe shootout. Nimbus 28 from ASICS. In the top 3, I wasn't sure about the VOMERO Plus when I first got it, when it launched back in August 2025, but I think when you weigh up the cost plus the midsole, the amount of Zoom X that you've got here underfoot, that sort of a typical favoured drop of 8mm, great grip on the outsole, it's kind of won me over the course of time. There are some things I don't like about the shoe, the lace loops for example, and the overly plush tongue and some of the upper materials. They really could scale back some of this. In fact, it's got a scaly feel to it. Just give us the pure midsole feel. We don't need all the extra gubbins on the upper. But it certainly won me over the course of the last few months. I've been reaching for this one for a little bit of easy running, plus some wandering about as well. There are better colourways than this one though. At least you'll be seen in this one in the winter, I suppose. It is very, very bright. So position number 3, it's the VOMERO Plus from Nike. At 2, it might not be the absolute banger of the original Strung version of the shoe, but the PRIMEX 3 Strung has won me over time. 50mm of stack in the heel on the sample size. I've got a lot more than that in my size. It does take some miles for the whole structure to kind of break in a little bit here. We've got rods, we've got a plate, we've got all different sort of softnesses really. They managed to lower the weight a little bit over the V2 and it makes it a more fun shoe to use over distance. A little bit more stable than the V1, certainly a little bit more heel width. It's a much better option than the V2 that was released a couple of years ago. Just brings the model a little bit closer to its former glory. Durable outsole and a really good fit around the foot. It's one that just really improved with time the more and more I used it. Lightstrike Pro foam has always been like that though. If you judge it out the box, yeah, not really getting the true picture. And that's exactly what happened in this shoe. So at number 2, it's the PRIMEX 3 Strung from ADIDAS. At number 1, it's got to be the ASICS MEGABLAST, a super stack of fun and bouncy foam here, yet ASICS have managed to keep that weight nice and low. Top-notch lockdown from the upper and excellent outsole grip. It's the winner here. It does pretty much most things you'd want from a running shoe. Perhaps aside of all-out racing, I think I'd say for anything other than a marathon, it's probably a little bit too high in stack height. The problem is though with the MEGABLAST, it's a very difficult shoe to come by. The stock sells out super quick when it appears online. It's always a bit of a detractor when you're talking about the success of a shoe. That was indicated within my recent poll of the most used viewer shoes over the last year. Didn't get all that many votes, which was probably down to the fact people just can't buy it. So best plus 40mm max cushion shoe this year for me is got to be the MEGABLAST. Nothing else has got this much cushion, but in such a lightweight package. Have you been using a plus 40mm max cushion shoe in your rotation this year? Tell us which ones are your favourites down in the comments. I will be doing a best daily shoe of the year very soon. Quick musical interlude for you. Today from the Brian Setzer Orchestra. So many great Christmas tunes there to check out. Go and listen to Getting in the Mood for Christmas. The energy coming out of the speakers on this one is really fantastic. It'll get you in the Christmas mood. A huge big band arrangement here with fantastic guitar work, big brass stabs, and great changed up lyrics with a Christmas tinge from Setzer here. A great spoken word bit a little bit later in the track as well, which sounds oddly like Brian Setzer's guitar technician. I'm not sure if it is him or not. I'd love to know who's actually on there. I'll have to go and research it. Go and check it out. The wonderful Brian Setzer Orchestra. Anything from them, but especially getting in the mood for Christmas. Thanks for tuning in, people. Hope you enjoyed today's top 5 list. Hit that subscribe button if you're yet to do so. Also, give this video a thumbs up, like, drop us a comment for the algorithm. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you